144%. That's the average annual employee turnover rate in fast food and commercial kitchen lines, according to the National Restaurant Association. Let that number sink in. In an industry where net profit margins hover between a razor-thin 3% and 6%, restaurant owners are spending tens of thousands of dollars every single year just recruiting, onboarding, and training line cooks who quit 90 days later. Add in rising minimum wage mandates pushing fast food pay to $20 an hour in major markets, and you have an industry on the brink of structural exhaustion. The tech industry's answer to this crisis has been loud and flashy. Venture-backed startups have built multi-million-dollar robotic arms that flip burgers, automated pizza assembly lines, robotic fry stations, and automated wok cookers. But behind all the flashy demo videos lies a dirty secret that Silicon Valley tech founders completely missed. Restaurant owners have no idea how to install, calibrate, wire, or maintain a robotic system. And when a robotic fryer arm throws an error code on a Friday night at 7 p.m. during the dinner rush, a software engineer in San Francisco is not getting on a plane to clean grease off an optical sensor. This massive disconnect has created one of the most profitable, uncrowded, and quietly lucrative business models in modern tech. It is not building the robots. It is acting as the boots-on-the-ground commercial kitchen robotics installation and maintenance integrator. A small field service firm with just one van and 2 technicians can easily clear $25,000 to $40,000 a month in recurring contracts with virtually zero competition. My name is George. Let's get into it. When people think about robotics and AI, their minds immediately go to futuristic humanoid machines, autonomous vehicles, or deep tech software platforms. They think you need a PhD in mechatronics or millions of dollars in seed capital to participate in this wave. But in the real world of blue-collar enterprise, the biggest fortunes are rarely made by the people who invent the hardware. They are made by the integrators, the practical problem solvers who take complex technology, physically install it in commercial buildings, connect it to existing workflows, and keep it running day in and day out. To understand why commercial kitchen robotics integration is such a goldmine, you have to understand just how hostile a restaurant kitchen really is. A commercial kitchen is not a sterile server room or climate-controlled semiconductor clean room. It is an industrial war zone. It is 350-degree fryer oil bubbling constantly. It is vaporized airborne grease clinging to every surface. It is high humidity, boiling water, heavy flour dust, intense ambient heat, tight 4-foot aisle clearances, and nightly high-pressure chemical washdowns. Standard consumer electronics and delicate optical cameras die in a matter of days in that environment. On top of that, commercial kitchens are subject to strict municipal fire codes like NFPA 96 ventilation rules, NSF sanitation standards, and strict health department inspections. A restaurant owner cannot simply order a robotic arm off the internet and plug it into a standard 110-volt wall outlet next to the grill. They need dedicated 208-volt or 240-volt 3-phase electrical drops. They need pneumatic air lines for robotic suction grippers. They need custom stainless steel mounting brackets secured directly into the kitchen floor or hood canopy without violating fire suppression clearance zones. And most importantly, they need the robot's onboard controller to seamlessly talk to their point-of-sale system, whether that's Toast, Square, NCR, Aloha, or Micros. When a customer orders a basket of chicken tenders on a digital kiosk out front, that order ticket has to route through the kitchen display system, trigger the robotic fryer to drop the exact portion weight into the oil, track cook time to the second, shake the basket to prevent sticking, lift the basket when finished, and notify the human assembly line. If that communication breaks down, the entire kitchen grinds to a dead halt. Robotics manufacturers like Miso Robotics, Richtech, Bear Robotics, and Picnic know how to build impressive hardware, but they are hardware and software engineering firms. They do not want to build regional field service networks with thousands of physical technicians across hundreds of metropolitan areas. It is too capital-intensive and logistically messy for them. They desperately rely on certified third-party regional integrators to handle the site surveys, physical installation, software bridging, staff training, and emergency repairs. Let me introduce you to a real operator named Liam. Liam was not a robotics engineer. He spent 9 years working as a commercial HVAC and restaurant refrigeration technician in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. He spent his days repairing walk-in freezers, commercial ice machines, and combi ovens. He knew commercial kitchens inside and out. He knew the grease, the panic of a broken compressor during a holiday weekend, and how desperate restaurant managers get when critical equipment fails. In early 2024, Liam noticed that several fast casual franchises in his territory were struggling with crippling turnover on their fry and prep stations. Managers were working 80-hour weeks, just covering open shifts. Liam reached out to 2 commercial kitchen robotics manufacturers that offer their equipment through a robotics as a service, or RaaS, framework. He completed their certified partner training programs, learned their diagnostic software, and set up a small commercial automation integration business. He did not pitch restaurant owners on science fiction or artificial intelligence. He walked into a local 5-unit quick-service chicken franchise and spoke directly to the numbers. He showed the owner that an automated frying module could eliminate 14 hours of manual fryer labor every day, reduce cooking oil waste by 20% through precise temperature regulation, and guarantee consistent food quality on every order. The franchisee signed a pilot contract for 2 locations. Here's exactly how Liam structured the economics and how the cash flows work. First, there's the upfront installation and deployment fee. For each kitchen line, Liam charges a flat integration fee of $9,500. This covers the preliminary site survey, electrical load assessment, custom stainless mounting hardware, installing the physical robot arm and safety barrier cage, wiring the IoT telemetry gateway, and setting up the API middleware bridge between the restaurant's POS system and the robot controller. Liam's direct material costs for the mounting brackets, conduit, networking hardware, and custom cabling run roughly $2,200. The installation and calibration take Liam and 1 helper approximately 3 days of work during off hours. That leaves Liam with $7,300 in net installation gross profit per station. Second, and far more valuable, is the recurring monthly service level agreement, or SLA retainer. In the restaurant world, equipment downtime is catastrophic. If a fryer robot goes down on a Friday night, the restaurant loses thousands of dollars in lost ticket volume and angers hundreds of hungry customers. They cannot wait 3 days for a standard repair ticket. Liam charges a mandatory maintenance and emergency support retainer of $1,650 per month per kitchen unit. For that monthly fee, Liam provides 3 specific deliverables. First, bi-weekly preventative maintenance. His technician visits the restaurant during morning prep hours to deep clean the optical sensor housings, apply NSF H1 food-grade synthetic grease to the robotic joint seals, check pneumatic airline pressure, and recalibrate the vision cameras. Second, 24/7 cloud telemetry monitoring. Liam's diagnostic hub tracks motor torque, temperature spikes, and cycle counts in real time, alerting him to potential mechanical friction before a part actually fails. Third, an emergency dispatch guarantee. If the system encounters a critical failure during operational hours, a technician is on site within 2 hours. Now, let's look at the customer's return on investment, because this is why restaurant owners gladly sign these contracts. A standard fast casual restaurant running a manual fry station 14 hours a day pays an average of $18.50 an hour. When you factor in payroll taxes, workers' compensation insurance, uniforms, and constant turnover onboarding costs, the true loaded cost of that station is roughly $23.50 an hour. Over 365 days, that single manual cooking station costs the restaurant owner approximately $120,000 a year in ongoing labor expenses. By contrast, when the restaurant deploys a robotic frying system under a robotics as a service model, the hardware lease is roughly $3,500 a month. And Liam's maintenance SLA is $1,650 a month. That is a total monthly operational cost of $5,150, or roughly $6,800 per year. Even after factoring in utility costs and Liam's initial setup fee, the restaurant owner saves over $45,000 in cold, hard cash in year 1, and nearly $60,000 every year after that. Furthermore, they eliminate worker burn injuries from hot grease/workers' comp claims and maintain lightning-fast ticket times during peak rushes. When a service saves a business $60,000 a year while solving their biggest operational headache, selling it is not a high-pressure pitch. It is simple math. Let's look at Liam's business after just 18 months of operation. Liam has installed robotic systems across 14 restaurant locations, including regional burger chains, wing joints, and ghost kitchens. From his recurring maintenance retainers alone, Liam generates $23,100 every single month in predictable, contractually recurring revenue. That is over $277,000 a year in high-margin cash flow. His ongoing overhead is minimal. The lease on a service van, insurance, tools, replacement food-grade lubricants, spare sensor modules, and part-time pay for a certified junior technician. His gross profit margins on the recurring service retainers exceed 72%. And that doesn't even include the $133,000 in upfront installation fees he collected along the way. The power of this business model lies in what I call the boring factor. Silicon Valley tech founders and software developers want to sit in air-conditioned offices and write code for SaaS apps. They do not want to wear slip-resistant steel toe boots, crawl under commercial exhaust hoods, and get covered in grease while calibrating a robotic stepper motor. They don't want to deal with local permitting, electrical subpanels, or angry line cooks. And because they refuse to do that dirty, unglamorous physical work, the local field service integrator operates with almost zero competition. However, this business is not without real operational challenges. If you want to succeed in this space, there are 3 critical friction points you must master. The first challenge is environmental fouling and grease management. In a commercial kitchen, airborne aerosolized grease penetrates every microscopic crevice. If an optical lens or LiDAR sensor gets coated in an oily film, the computer vision system cannot accurately detect food items or measure cooking oil levels. Successful integrators don't just rely on standard off-the-shelf cameras. They install positive pressure air curtains that blow clean, filtered air across sensor lenses, and they use IP67 washdown rated enclosures that can withstand chemical sanitizing sprays. The second challenge is the legacy POS integration barrier. Many independent restaurants and mid-sized franchisees are running legacy point-of-sale software that was built 20 years ago. These systems do not have modern REST APIs or webhook support. As an integrator, you cannot simply plug in an Ethernet cable and expect orders to synchronize. You must master middleware platforms and kitchen display system bridges that intercept ticket data streams and convert raw order tickets into structured JSON commands that the robot's programmable logic controller can execute in real time. The third challenge is human workflow and change management. When you install a robot in a commercial kitchen, the existing line staff often view it with skepticism or fear. They worry the machine will replace them or make their jobs harder. Successful integrators know how to train kitchen staff to view the robot not as a competitor, but as a tireless prep assistant. The robot takes over the most hazardous, grueling task, standing over a 350-degree boiling vat of oil for 8 hours, allowing the human workers to focus on food assembly, quality presentation, packaging, and speed of customer service. In his landmark book, The E-Myth Revisited, Michael Gerber explains the fundamental trap that catches most small business owners. He points out that most business owners spend all their time working in their business, cooking the food, wiping the counters, and putting out daily operational fires, instead of working on their business by building scalable systems. A restaurant owner stuck covering the fryer station because their cook didn't show up is trapped inside the business. When you install an automated kitchen system, you're not just selling them hardware, you're selling them freedom and operational stability. Consider the contrast between two entrepreneurs, Brandon and Liam. Brandon lives in Austin and wants to build a venture-backed tech startup. He spends 9 months in coffee shops building an AI-powered social media scheduling app for restaurants. When he launches, he discovers that there are already 300 identical apps on the market. Restaurant owners ignore his cold emails because social media is the least of their daily worries. After a year of burning through his savings, Brandon's app has 12 paying users, 80% monthly churn, and 0 defensibility. He gives up and goes back to a corporate desk job. Liam lives in the same city. He doesn't know how to code an AI app, but he understands physical mechanical systems and commercial kitchen realities. He partners with established restaurant robotics manufacturers, buys a used commercial van, and offers local franchisees a complete turnkey automation installation and 24/7 maintenance package. Within 18 months, Liam has 15 active restaurant locations on retainer, generates $24,000 a month in recurring service revenue, and has built an unassailable local moat that no remote software company can ever disrupt. Brandon chased the glamorous tech dream and failed. Liam embraced the boring, greasy reality of physical integration and built a durable, cash-flowing empire. The real wealth in the AI and robotics revolution is not just in writing algorithms or building robots in Silicon Valley laboratories. It is in the unglamorous trenches of implementation. It is in the commercial kitchens, the industrial facilities, and the physical job sites where technology meets the physical world. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications if you want more deep dives into real, cash-flowing businesses that most people ignore. And tell me in the comments down below, would you trust a robot to cook your dinner? And do you think automated kitchens are the future of the restaurant industry? I'm George, and I'll see you in the next video.